Hello, and welcome to another chapter of Liberty's Bulwark, a Pathfinder 2E adventure with Blades and Blasters. I am your friendly neighborhood GM, Prankster, and I am joined tonight by three of our players. Fortunately, Wanderer is unavailable. He may be in a bit later. But why don't we go ahead and have everyone introduce themselves really quick. Just their name and their character and anything else they'd like to share about them. Let's start with Sim.
Hey, I'm Sim. I'm playing half orc, half human, all killing machine.
Awesome. And next but not least, we'll just say next is the Bees.
It's the Bees. I'm next and I'm not least.
Yes, you are not least.
Zypher's going to be least. But I'm the Bees. I'm playing Milo Epley, a human cleric of Sarenrae.
Okay. And finally, last but not least, Zypher.
Hey, I'm Zypher. I'm playing Rigzin, a human of questionable character.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and jump into our game. The group had two Hellknight initiates in their hands, men who just a few hours ago were beating down the door of this man, Dedrir. And with their defeat, the group had a choice. Milo and Caravel decided to go inside of the hut, make tea, and help to prepare for dinner with Dedrir. Rigzin and Maden had other things in mind. And they took their two Hellknights a few hundred yards out to the east and began the process of torturing them for information. Maden performed a Blood Eagle maneuver on one of them, while a changed Rigzin looked on coldly. From the hut, Caravel looked on and saw exactly what the two were up to and became aghast. Milo and the two from the cabin, Dedrir, were alarmed and ran out to meet the men just a few hundred yards away. Dedrir verbally accosted Maden and Rigzin for perpetrating such a heinous act. But Maden and Rigzin did get some approximate coordinates to the Hellknight encampment. With Maden finishing off the tortured Hellknight, the other came back into the cabin and found redemption. The combination of Milo's zeal and Dedrir's wisdom seemed to break through. Maden and Rigzin stood outside waiting for Caravel and Milo to come back out. And after a moment, they did. Caravel swore to leave the party as soon as Sabriel was rescued because he could not be party to the torture going on. And with that, the group tried to decide on their next course of action. The cultists not far away, or the Hellknights in the forest to the east of Akasazi. Which way would they choose? For your records. I imagine all of you are standing outside of this small cabin which you were in last session. All of you kind of stood on the edge. And I imagine that there's kind of this brief, quiet moment between all of you, and there is just the quiet of the sea. You can hear the waves lapping up against it, and perhaps a smooth breeze just hits you across the face. You could smell the salt on the air and even feel the sand underneath your feet as you are all perhaps looking out at the sea. And in this moment, we enter into the mind's eye of Maden. You can see the camera slowly zoom in on him in this moment where he is quiet, but with perhaps blood on his hands. And in this moment, it kind of fades to a new scene, a memory of the past from him as he is in the middle of a cacophony of a battle. You can see other half-orcs, you can see other humans. Some of them are dressed in just almost peasant attire. There are a couple of what look to be like gladiators in this arena as well, who are clearly men of battle. You can see blood-soaked swords as they strike down one of these peasants, just going through and almost torturing, almost playing with these people who barely know how to fight. And in the middle of this is Maden. How is Maden working in the midst of this whole thing?
Maden thinks to himself as he watches the onslaught. Killing these ones it's not right. I wouldn't be killing them unless I was forced to. As he swings. Can't you do better?
And so who is he swinging on, just so I am clear?
He's swinging on anybody who's coming at him.
Sure. Yeah, you can see in the middle of this pit, just to paint the picture a little bit better, it's a small arena, so you can see that you are in the middle of this drop-down arena. Sand is underneath your feet, a mix of sand and blood and gore. The sounds of clashing swords and battle are just filling this area. Uplifted maybe like 15 feet above that from just a sheer wall, you can see people sitting in the stands just yelling and roaring. Oh, I've got money on that one! Ah! It is filled, and if the camera was to zoom out a little bit farther, you would see that this arena sits in the middle of Cheliax, in the middle of Agorian, the main city of Cheliax. Camera though zooms back in and you can see nobility filling the stands, some of them whispering and talking to one another, looking at different fighters. And it's at that moment one of these peasants, with both a frightened and doesn't know what to do look in their eye, raises up a sword, you can tell not in a very good fashion, and is like running at Maden.
Maden, seeing the peasant come running at him, knowing it's going to be no contest for him, and seeing there's no glory in being forced to fight in any of them, he'll, as the peasant's running at him, he'll get ready to defend himself. But his goal in his head is to disarm him. He's losing his lust to kill.
Yeah. So in this moment, this peasant comes down and swings, and how does he disarm him?
And as it comes down, he takes his sword and he deflects it, and he runs it into the ground, and then he steps on it and kicks the peasant back.
Yeah, the peasant goes kicking back. He fumbles and falls to the ground. And in the midst of the cacophony of battle and everything, you can see one of these well-armed gladiators, clearly armed to the nines and with a nice short sword. The peasant looks at you with a wide-eye look, as if to say thank you. And maybe he's even in the midst of mouthing it, when one of the gladiators, who is resplendent, comes down and sticks a sword right through this guy's head into his body and twists it, pulls it out, and just kicks the body aside with clearly no value for human life. With that, he looks at you and raises up a sword, as if to challenge you. How do you respond?
Maden, watching the peasants he just spared, would look at the warrior with his sword at him. Don't you have no honor? He'll respond. He'll kind of put his sword on his shoulder and stare at him and give him stick his hand out to kind of wave him in. If you must fight, then fight me. I should be a good challenge for you.
He spits on the ground and he just looks at you and he says, "In this area and in this pit, there is no honor. There's only the person who lives to see another day." And with that, he charges you with a sword. You can see that he does not have a shield. It is this huge double-edged sword. And he is pulling up and draws close with it, high in the air above his head, getting ready to swing it down.
As he's getting ready to swing it down, Maden's just getting enraged. The thought of the peasant's life being thrown away so gingerly. And as he sees the sword coming down, he'll step out the way and he'll engage him.
So yeah, you dodge or step to the side in a moment, and the sword hits, and a cloud of dust erupts, and you can see the motes of like those dust, like the light hitting it, causing kind of like a little cloud right there. The smell of sweat on this person just like comes into your nostrils, and after he hits down on the ground, you can see that he's moving to swing it, trying to use whatever inertia he has to pull it your way.
Maden seeing the blade coming at him, it almost caught him off guard a little bit. He sees it coming, so he blocks it with the sword. You thought it was gonna be easy.
Yeah, so his sword is rebuffed, and in that moment that he is like your sword repels his, it slides off of yours, and there's this brief moment that you can see where his sword is past your body, and he does not have the inertia to bring it around quickly in time.
Yes, and seeing that happen, Maden would watch as his eyes grow wide, seeing an opening for a strike, like so many times before, and he'll wheel the sword back and stick it into the weak point on his armor.
So you bring your sword back and you shove it right to where his where there is a hole in the arm of his breastplate. You can see right there, and so you shove your sword in, and you see him wince in the pain, and he immediately starts bleeding as a result of it. But with that hand, he comes, and with whatever strength he has, he takes his hand and just like backhands you to the part where you fall on the ground. Your sword's still in hand, but you can see that he comes around, and even though he's bleeding, you can see that he's wincing and he's moving in.
Maden backhand, and he's staggered a little bit, and he sees the sword coming around, and he'll try to stick up to block it, but he knows he's off guard.
Yeah, so he brings it down, and I imagine like you're on the ground, right? And your back's on the ground, and you have one hand on the handle, one hand on the flat of your blade, and he brings the sword down. Your sword is holding, but he is like slowly pushing it in towards you, and you can see this wicked grin on his face, as well as a wince of pain from his eye, from the blood that is just coming out of his armpit.
Maden feeling all the strength starting to zap it away as the blade starts getting an inch closer to him. Tries to push it back with his blade in his hand, probably cutting his hand at the same time, trying to use all his might not to die.
Yeah, and so he is pushing in as hard as he can, and you hold him there, and that wicked grin turns into something that just becomes flat. And I imagine, Maden, at this point, you feel whatever that anger is that you tap into so very often, that rage, it just begins to bubble up in your chest.
As his rage kicks in, he feels the blade coming closer, and his eyes feel red, his face feels flushed, and he lets out the roar, and he spits comes out of his mouth as he feels the blade start giving way.
Yeah, and the blades, like, you start pushing this guy away, and he becomes wide-eyed at this. While he is an opportunist, he also seems like a practiced fighter, and so you're able to summon enough inner strength, enough inner rage, whatever it is, to push him and cause him to take a few steps back, at least a few moments for you to be able to regain and stand up.
As he's standing up, enraged, he'll stand up and look at the warrior in his eyes, and then to give him no quarter, he'll charge at him.
Yeah, and it is almost a complete opposite of what just happened, as he brings up his sword this time, but it is just a hair of a second too late from him trying to regain his footing. You got up too fast, and your sword whacks him right in his breastplate, and you can see that it knocks him back. You can tell that you haven't found any blood yet, but again, he's stumbling backwards, and it looks like his grip on his sword is weak.
Yeah, seeing him his weak loosen and him being off guard, Maden will keep up his onslaught. He'll keep throwing the sword at him.
So it is a flurry of strikes as you bring it down. A slash, a stab, a cut, and he's trying to fend away. And at one point, like one strike lops off his whole left hand, and he screams out in pain as the sword falls down to his left, and he grabs his left hand, and he stumbles onto one knee and looks up at you. It is clear you can give him the killing blow.
Mad and enraged and looking at the helpless warrior in front of him, flashes back to him taking the life of the peasants, just as helpless. And he'll kind of lean in. You fought without honor. Now you do not get none. With that you shall die. And he'll swing his sword, making the killing blow.
You swing your sword and decapitate this guy as his body falls down, his limp wrist, blood from his right still squirting out, and he falls down dead. And in that moment, you hear just a brief moment as there is a whistle that pierces the sound of the arena. And all warriors know at that point in time that the battle is over, and whoever has survived lives to fight another day. And sure enough, that one is down. Another gladiator over there looks at you and nods approvingly. Nobles up there nod approvingly, and they throw money down on the stands or some type of ticket, clearly enraged that their guy lost. And other people just raise their fists in the air, and you can hear just it all filling the whole place as they start yelling out your. What type of an alias do you think that they would come up with for Maden at that point? I don't want to give you a sucky name that you would hate, but do you think that they would come up with anything, or do you think that your name would be known to them?
I think my name would be known to them.
Okay, so they just start shouting in the stands, Maden, Maden, Maden! And there is a sick, small part of you that just realizes, in the midst of all of this, they were just shouting out this gladiator's name not 15 minutes before. There's a small fast forward as all of you are kind of go back into the depths of the arena through some large doubled doors. And you are familiar with it at this particular point. You've been in this cell for however long. This hasn't been your first battle. You're sitting there, and as you are locked up in this prison, the warden comes by, and it is this amazing turkey leg as he kind of shoves it in underneath the door, and he says, "You fought well today, Maden, and for that you get to eat well as well."
I'd fought well. Why don't you bring worthy contenders instead of peasants? Bring on some of those knights I see. They deserve to die more than that peasant did.
It doesn't matter who deserves it, Maden. What matters is who they can catch.
Yeah, the spectacle of blood. Nobody wants to partake in it, so they force others to. And he'll walk over to the turkey leg and kick it back away from him.
He'll look at you and he says, "Oh, go ahead."
I'd rather starve than partake in this.
But we need you. I'm glad you're finally starting to understand, man. And what he does is he places the plate just out of just outside the door so that you can't kick it. Kind of takes I imagine the turkey leg rolled into some straw. He kind of picks it up, says, kind of like brushes it off and is already kind of like dirty jerkin and puts it on the plate. When you're ready to partake. And he smiles and makes his way to some of the other cells, feeding them, although they get like gruel or slop or something to that effect. It's late into the night at one point, Maden, and you can, getting ready to kind of sleep, turn in for the evening, and you can hear some of the other people who are talking. In fact, a neighbor to your left in the prison is trying to get your attention. Psst, Maden.
Madden sitting there would hear it, but he wouldn't say nothing. He doesn't really feel, he doesn't want to hear anybody's story. He's just suffering himself.
Sure. And to set the scene, I imagine that there's like dirty straw all over the place. None of these people have bathed. It is just smells like shit and sweat. It's gross. I imagine that there's some like kind of like square opening up at the top of the ceiling that itself is also got bars on it. Moonlight is maybe coming in on you, and maybe torches and sconces kind of decorate the long cobblestone walls in the midst of this arena. I just realized I'm making all of these motions and none of you can see any of it. And he keeps whispering your name though, like, Psst, Maden! Maden!
Madden finally getting annoyed. What do you want?
Look, I have information that I think you'll want. All right, but there's one of the other prisoners has been in contact with a member of the Bellflower Network. Okay, apparently he comes in and he's worked his way in to be one of the people to take out slop, to clean up stalls, and apparently there's going to be a break in about 2 days. Do you want to come with us? Do you want to get out of here?
What do you mean get out? You mean escape?
Yes, I mean escape. He is, because he's a member of the Bellflower Network. He says he has contacts in a Drogon itself, in more of Cheliax. He can essentially move us from home to home to home until we're able to make our escape in Ravenel.
Man rubs his forehead. Yes, I should like to escape. If only if I come back and get my revenge. Yes.
Get your revenge. Get your revenge on who?
The people that hold us here. Cheliax. They can't go unscathed in all this.
Yeah, the peasant looks at you, kind of like shakes his head, and I don't know if you could change a whole nation, Maden.
No. It doesn't matter if they change, it just matters if they die. They're inhuman.
He looks at you, and I imagine that there is a quiet as the camera zooms out of this particular moment, and you are returned to the same kind of like windy lakeshore day as you are looking off into the distance. And perhaps for a moment you look towards your right and you see the small grave that was made for the man whom you tortured. And everybody, you are all standing in front of this wonderful, almost picturesque seaside scene with water lapping on the shores, the sand underneath, the warmth of the sun upon you. How would you guys like to proceed at this point? There was some discussion about what to do next from our previous session, about whether or not you would continue on to the cultist encampment to the left, to the west, or whether or not you would go to the Hellknight encampment, which is to the east. I'm going to go ahead and bring you to the map of Ravenel region, which we've been considering. The blue X is I can only do blue, I think, but the blue X is the cultist encampment, and the blue circle is the Hellknight encampment. You feel pretty strongly that the two are related and maybe even working in tandem. So I will leave it up to you guys to discuss what to do next in character.
Can you give me the map one more time? I accidentally closed it.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. There you go.
Rigzin walks up to Maden, who seems to be lost in thought, looking out towards the sea, and gently pats his shoulder. Maden.
Madden, feeling the pat on the shoulder, and the one hearing the voice of Riggs that would snap out of it, almost as a reaction. Seems I was lost in my thoughts.
No, not to worry. We have had quite a trial these past few hours, but now we must make a decision. Do we go to the cultists and find out more about what's happening here, or do we use the information we have and free Sabriel?
I think the cultist road is be here. I do not know how long Sabriel will be where he's at.
But they will have to pass through the cultists. To me, it feels like the cultists might be a not really the right word, but like a refueling station, rearm,
Yes.
stock up on goods and provisions, and then make their way along the coast to Cheliax.
Sounds like a good place for an ambush then.
Yes. I'm afraid the entire encampment, there might be too many Hell Knights for us.
Yeah, that'd be true. I'm sure there's a collection of them going around gathering people. And then when they arrive where we are at with the cultist, there should be just as many. And you look at Rick.
We may be lucky that the cultists may not have as many Hell Knights.
No, but when the group arrives, there'll be just as many. But I don't know if we can actually free Sabriel, or do we die trying?
I am thinking if the cultists are actually a waypoint, a place to restock and reprovision for the Hell Knights before they make their way to Cheliax, then we might have a bargaining chip. You see, if they are to leave Ravenel unscathed, the trek to Cheliax is long and arduous. Maybe we could trade the life of Sabriel and the other people they have captured. In exchange, they can have their provisions and leave these lands with their lives. Or we burn it all and die trying.
Yes, I would like to see their faces as they approach upon their camp, where the cultists were supposed to be, and seeing nothing but ash. But it seems like Diplomacy might be the better option. After all, we could always follow them afterwards and pick them off as they go.
Indeed.
Milo has largely tuned out the conversation, is enjoying the beautiful seaside and writing in his holy text. It's a copy of the holy text of Sarenrae, the birth of light and truth. He's taken great pride in the fact that he's writing in some of the empty pages in the back to add his own accounts of what happened with the Hellknight and the story of redemption and forgiveness, and how Sarenrae held his hands back from harming him because he could be redeemed. And so he's, again, a little bit still oblivious to the to the heaviness of these decisions as he's writing this in his journal.
Well, we should probably rest up, eat a good meal before we go after these cultists. Kind of look over at Milo. And
Milo will look up. The cultists? So we've decided to head west?
Yes. And hopefully we'll have a plan that would be successful.
I think we just might be.
And is that former Hellknight somewhere? Is he still there, or did he scurry off into the sunset?
The other Hellknight, who you would know to, his name was, he introduced himself as, I guess he never introduced himself, but in the process of talking in the cabin, Caravel as well as Milo would have picked up that his name was Kurt. And apparently he's still in the cabin with Dedrir, the man who lives there.
Okay. So, Maden still looking at Milo. He'll kind of look a little remorseful. I do apologize for my actions. They're offensive, but sometimes they're effective.
It's hard to say. These means by which you shook him. I can't believe this was the will of the gods, but in the end, justice prevails. The dawn, the dawn brings new light, as they say.
Yes, they do. And it's unfortunate in times like this that brutality must be used. But I will always stand tall and answer for my actions.
And I believe you'll be judged justly for your bravery and for your willingness to be held accountable. You don't take this job lightly.
I've had experience with them. Experience that shows me their true nature. They are beasts in the skin of humans.
Clearly not all of them.
No, I never said they can't change. But it's a rare thing from what I've learned. But if they change, that's their prerogative. My prerogative is to be there if they change back at some point.
And I'll stand at your side. Prank, what time of day is it?
That's a good question. You guys had ventured out from Akasazi, presumably around 8 o'clock, and had stumbled upon all of this. There was the was about 2.5 hours away. So we'll just say 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And then there was the fight. There was the torture. There's 12. There was the burying of the body. That would take a couple of hours. So I would say it's probably late afternoon, 3, let's say 4 o'clock.
Sure. Okay. I've been reading about clerics of Sarenrae and how we have prayers in midday and at sunrise and sunset and at midday when the sun's at its highest. So I'm just orienting myself.
Sure.
I suppose a meal would do us good. He just packs up his book into his little satchel, and it's like glowing gold sun. It's just like a brand new, nice looking book that he's so excited to be writing in.
So as Milo packs up his stuff, you ready to head inside, and Maden will look at Rigzin. So what do you think the explanation for that sword over there flying into the tree?
Yeah, I imagine that at that moment you bring it up, Rigzin, anybody who would look over at it, like it is, the sun is shining at it to just give it that like shing, and it is still sticking out in the tree.
Oh, it's still in the tree. He never drew it from the tree.
I do not believe he did. I don't want to put
No,
words
no,
in Viper's mouth.
No.
Fair. Yes. What is this? Yeah. Milo will investigate. Approach the tree.
So yeah, as you approach the tree and you look at the sword, it is the same sword that Zypher was gifted by Olthel, who was the mayor of Akasazi.
Oh, Rigzin.
You can
Sorry.
tell because I believe Rigzin wielded the same sword in the battle where Sabriel was lost.
The one that he cast out or broke and cast away.
No. So
No.
I broke and cast away my standard longsword. This was a silver longsword, and since it was a gift, it never really his to do. He chose not to destroy it and give it back to the mayor of Akasazi. But yeah, so let's go. So when you go and observe it, Rigzin follows you, and he doesn't touch the sword. It is as you said, Milo. You said the gods don't condone this. And it is true. The gods wish to be just. But the path of justice can be perverted by those with means. The righteous, in their belief of righteousness, could be misled and waylaid. This is my God telling me to not give in to the hate, and not give in to the way of ease and quickness when it comes to dispensing justice. But then again, in the name of my God, I have done many injustice, and at that times I was never signaled or signed like this. So what gives my God the right to talk to me now? Then again, is this more injustice than what I've done before? I do not know. Am I automatically redeemed by just taking the sword and swinging it in the name of my God, and all my previous failings, treachery, dishonor, hideous acts, are they all forgiven? And by whom? by some power that I cannot see and only believe in? Or does forgiveness lie within me? Or maybe
There's
I'm not yet ready to forgive myself. I do not know.
You don't appear to be. I don't. I don't claim to know exactly how forgiven you may be, but I do believe this is a sign, a gift, a new day. Even if it isn't full redemption, it's a chance to step in the right direction. Milo will kind of like gesture to it, like step.
Then do me this favor, Milo.
Mm.
Pick that sword up and keep it with you. Be my conscience. Be my witness. You have not yet done anything dishonorable in my company, and I do not wish that you be put in a position where you could be forced to do something dishonorable. I will let you decide, and not my God, when I am worthy for this sword again. For you are in front of me, and you have been beside me in all my travails so far. I will let you judge. If you deem me worthy one day, then give me back this sword. And if you deem me irredeemable, then use this sword and chop off my head.
Milo just kind of squints at the like glistening sword. It's like aura of holy music in the background, and looks over to you, who still seems just so conflicted. I won't say no to the gods. He'll reach over and grab it, try his best to yank it out of the tree. Might need two hands. He's not big on melee combat.
Sure. Yeah, it's embedded pretty good, but after some time, you're able to kind
Wiggling.
of wiggle it free.
A little
Yeah.
King Arthur action.
Yeah, a little King Arthur action.
Goes on one.
Yes, I'll hold on to this. I'm sure. I'm sure it will be yours again very soon.
Then pray for me, my friend. Pray for me. For my soul is on a dark path. And I cannot seem to wrest it back towards the light.
I will continue to pray for you.
I cannot enter the house of this man, for I have desecrated his lands. I will wait out here while you guys have some food. All I ask is you bring me some more. I will sit by this man I have slain, try to repent if possible.
Maden looking at Rigzin, looks down, looks over at the grave. You could keep him company if you want. But I also should not eat inside. I don't know if I can stare at the newly redeemed. As far as I know, he could be lying. So I will sit outside. Against a tree. Not by this guy down here.
I shall bring food for the two of you.
I got
Some-
food.
So Milo, you go into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go into the house, and you see Dedrir, the man who was there, the man who'd been preparing this meal that you were helping to prepare this whole time. You see the Hellknight over there, just like his head in the book, just can't pull it out. Dedrir kind of has a small chuckle under his breath. Well, are you and your friends coming in to eat finally?
I'm afraid it'll just be me for the meal. They have great remorse and shame and respect for you for what they've done. They cannot feel comfortable entering the home.
Well, I'm glad that they have such remorse. That is good.
It is. It is.
Well, you said they will not come inside?
I'm afraid not.
Well then. Kurt! Kurt kind of like looks up, looks around. Yeah? I need your help bringing this food outside. We're going to be having a picnic then. And Kurt, and presumably Milo, he just like starts picking stuff up, and he actually just starts handing things to you. You take the bucket of rolls, and here, hold on to this as well. I have the jug of mead.
Yeah, Milo's holding all this and a big magic sword or a big sword that he's not used to wielding either. He's just got a bunch of things he's carrying. But he also just has a big smile on his face, happy. I don't know how this is going to go, but I like it.
Yeah, it's very comical in nature, and they all begin to kind of like, you all gather these things. Milo, you're the first one out, and Rigzin as well as Rigzin as well as Maden. Sorry, that's a brain fog. You guys see Milo, not a big deal, but then afterwards you see the man Dedrir coming out with this food, this jar of meat, this blanket. He begins to kind of like put it out onto the sand, and Dedrir comes out, and you could tell he's very trepidatious. He's got all of this food, and then he's got this book kind of like at the bottom that he's carrying to kind of like steady all of it. And he's just being very quiet. And he makes his way out on just following Dedrir's every move. How do you guys react, if at all?
Rigzin would look up at them, nod, but still sit where he is.
Yeah.
Maden would watch him, and he would stand up as they're putting down this picnic, and he'd go over. The food looks good. It smells good. But unfortunately, I cannot partake of your generous hospitality.
Why?
I am full of violence. I shall not be able to eat a morsel. I need to feel my hunger.
That is your decision.
Aye, that is my decision. And he'll look over at the former Hellknight. But let it be known, you may have found redemption. Stay on that path, for if you strayed off it, my hunger will be sedated with your soul.
Sure.
And he'll nod to everybody and walk back to his tree.
Okay. Yeah, Kurt, very like large gulp at that. You could see Dedrir kind of like places out the blanket, begins placing out this food, looks towards Milo, looks towards all of you, even looks towards Matt and just nods in his direction. And he's like, Milo, would you be a dear and bless this meal?
And it would be an honor. Milo faces the direction of the sun and raises his arms. O holy dawnflower, we give you thanks for this day, for this group of people, for enemies, for friends, for healing, redemption, and the sun. Bless this food. Let it nourish us, that we may nourish the land with your goodness and honesty and redemption. Amen.
Amen. Dedrir was clearly very angry during the whole thing last week, very frustrated about what happened. And seems kind of odd to you that he is been so quick to
He's just really turned a new leaf.
yeah, to just kind of like turn it into a leaf.
Hmm.
But he begins kind of like taking food. Milo begins taking food. You can see Kurt, the former Hell Knight, sitting there. He is also grabbing food, but you can see that he is like he's grabbing food, but he's not totally focused on that. Like he's very drawn to the book that he's reading, just absorbed in it. And every now and then, just pops some food in his mouth, kind of like keeps pushing on. Go ahead and roll me a perception check, everybody. Oh, I can't see because I have it blocked with a million windows.
All the good rolls or decent rolls.
Cool. Milo, Maden, Rigzin, and I'm just going to assume Caravel because he has a high wisdom, and I don't want to roll for him. All of you catch a flash of kind of like the cover of the book that Kurt is reading, and it is The Axe of Iomadai.
Sorry, say it again?
You catch a brief glimpse of the title of the book that he is reading, and it is The Axe of Iomadai.
Yeah, Milo would have seen Dedrir offer him the book and explain some of the things in it. So Milo is just again all smiles, a mouth full of bread or something.
Rigzin stands up when he kind of catches sight of that title, walks up to the party that's picnicking, and with his axe he points to the ex-Hellknight and to the book. What is that you're reading? The Axe of Iomadai.
Yeah, Kurt clearly looks very intimidated. He doesn't have armor or a weapon or anything on him. He kind of like brings it up. You can see his hands are whatever fight was in him seems to be gone, shaking as he kind of you can see it clearly. It says the Axe of Iomadai, and he says the Axe of Iomadai. Takes a gulp, and Dedrir follows up on that comment, just not fazed by anything going on, continuing to eat, and says, "Yes, I gave it to him to read."
Did you say
What is
Rigzin like drew a weapon or? I'm sorry. What is Rigzin?
No, Rigzin is just using his axe to point to the book. He's not actually
gotcha,
physically interacting with the ex-Hellknight.
Gotcha. Yeah, Milo would chime in. He's learning a new perspective that he's never had before.
The Axe of Iomadai? I have heard of no such book. What travesty is this?
Dedrir speaks. It is the document that most adherents. I don't know what faith you profess to believe in, but it is the document that most people who worship Iomadai point to. It details the 11 miracles that she performed as a mortal paladin, as well as some other pieces of information on her life.
11 miracles of Iomadai?
Yes. It's before Iomadai ascended to godhood, before she became a deity, she performed 11 miracles. And she is one of the most recent humans ever to succeed at the Starstone trials in Absalom, to come out and survive. And she became a deity as a result of all of it. This chronicles her life and her mission and what she did up and to that point of becoming the goddess that she is today.
How can that be? That is not the story of Yomadai. This is a falsehood.
What do you mean that's not the story of Yomadai? This is... And Dedrir he kind of like puts his hand up in the air and he says, yes, there is, let's see here, the 11 miracles of Yomadai. There is the one where she, that's right, she was the one who helped to take down some of the cult of Tar Bafan when she was operating within Last Wall, up against the undead and the like. There's the mercy, it is told, of her tears that flew, or not flew, that came down upon her cheeks, upon her injured comrade, and healed him. There is the story of her rescuing the widow and the orphan by literally just flying with them hanging upon her. And there's also there's also her rescue of those who were enslaved, and her righteous anger and judgment at those who perpetrated those acts. It's said that her roar brought the men to tears and shattered their bones, to the point of falling before her without even needing to swing her sword. These are just some of these are the big ones that I can think of. But yes, there's more within the text itself. Yeah, roll knowledge religion check. Shoot, I have it blocked again because I was working on something. Yeah, no, you would be. I mean, this is pretty big stuff. Yeah, it's kind of like the like the equivalent of like when you think about Christianity, especially if like you're a student of religion, so like kind of like some of the equivalent of like multiplying the loaves and the fish of Jesus, right? Or yeah. I mean, at least these ones. Maybe you're not familiar with all of them, but yeah, these ones ring true.
No, but these are not the acts I've heard. The Order of the God Claw didn't talk about these acts.
Kurt speaks up at that. How do you know about the Order of the God? Yeah, no, I was unaware of these as well. They didn't teach me either.
Because I am a captain in the Order of the God Claw. Or was a captain.
His jaw drops and just doesn't know. He's just kind of like looking at all of you. My apologies, sir. I never heard of you. Please don't report me to the Hellknights. You must have been testing me. That must have been what's going on. I'm so sorry. I don't want any part of this anymore. I want to. This isn't what I was led to believe.
This wasn't what I was led to believe either. Stop your groveling and sniveling. The Order of the God Claw was definitely perverted. My eyes were opened later. But I believe that it was not just their perversion, but the perversion of Yomadai herself. Now you tell me that the stories we were told and we were raised on are untrue?
Yeah, at that point, I imagine like Dedrir goes from kind of like sitting cross-legged to putting a knee up and standing up slowly and putting a hand on your shoulder. Son, I don't know what you were led to believe. I know Cheliax has said a lot of things, propaganda and lies that have leached out into the world. And I know that you know that as well, it seems. I'm telling you. And he reaches over to Kurt with a hand out, and Kurt lays the book in his hand, and grabs it and kind of like puts it at Rigzin's chest and kind of like thumps it. And he just says, I'm telling you, this is what the rest of the world knows about Yomadai. The Chalaxian woman of good faith who ascended to godhood.
Rigzin just stands there looking completely stunned. How? How can this be?
It's been my
Doesn't make
experience.
any sense. How can this be? And he just stands there kind of repeating those words.
Who trained you? Who's this? What's the organization you said you're with?
The Order of the God Claw.
What is this Order of the God Claw? They trained you of Iomadai and you became a paladin of this order?
Yes, I was born into this order. My father served in this order, and his father before him. And I just followed my father's footsteps. We were what brought order to the rest of Cheliax. We committed atrocities in the name of Yomadai. We stood up for resolute, irreversible, unsurmountable justice at whatever cost in the name of Yomadai. All along, the Hell Knights used us as a shield of righteousness to do whatever they wished, to do whatever the bidding of their god was, to do whatever, and Rigzin kind of just trails off after that.
Maden, you've heard enough about your experience with the Hell Knights now, and with your own experience in slavery, to I don't know how much I don't recall rather how much Rigzin revealed to you the previous session. With that said, you would know that the Order of the Hell Knights that he's referring to are responsible for helping to enslave people.
Yeah, refresh. I thought we had this talk, right? Didn't we?
But not in so much detail. All I think all Rigzin said was that would you do the same to him if he was part of it?
Yeah, and I think man responded somewhere along the lines of him changing. So yeah, he would listen, but his view doesn't change that Rigzin is no longer associated with them or anything. He's not against redemption. He's just against the ones that want to continue doing what they were doing.
Yeah.
This would be considered blasphemous in Cheliax. Yomadai gives us the the righteousness for our deeds to bring people to justice, those who have escaped their legal bounds and requirements, those who have broken their vows. Yomadai punishes those who break their vows. Yomadai has no place for such redemption.
My son, Yomadai is throughout the world a beacon of light and safe haven to women fleeing from cruel partners, from those fleeing from slave masters, and from those who have been oppressed by others. She is a lawful goddess, although she wouldn't refer to herself as such. But she is good. And if there is some tenet that would come across to that, there's some tenet that would come into a conflict with those central tenets of who she is, I am certain she would frown upon it. As for how you've been able, since I gather that you're some type of some type of paladin of a Yomadai. Sometimes when people believe certain aspects of the faith and are ignorant of what is going on, she is a god who shows mercy. And with that said, he'll take the book and he's kind of thumped it against your chest, and I imagine it's still there. And he very gently places your hand underneath his and kind of brings it up to your chest and to press the book against the chest yourself. Perhaps it's time you see who she really is. Perhaps, if I may be so forward, you and Kurt might be able to do it together. And Kurt just looks up at you, wide-eyed.
This was another time, another place. Maybe. But now I must save a friend before it's too late. Maybe save my soul in the process. I thank you, Dedrir, for bringing this to my attention. If what you say is true and this is available all over, then I shall find this book again. And Rigzin takes the book and kind of walks towards Kurt. He puts his axe by his side. Take this, read it well, know it well, and be a voice for the true Yomadai. Spread her knowledge where there is misguided notions. Maybe through that you will be redeemed. And maybe one day I will find my way back to this book if I live to see it.
Sit and eat. And he motions to all of you.
Rigzin sits down by his axe and takes a few handful of the food that's offered and eats quietly, kind of gazing into the distance over the water.
The next half an hour, 40 minutes of you guys eating is relatively uneventful. I imagine the tension finally breaks and some of you are able to offer a word of joking or jest, and there's some laughter and some mirth. Time comes to clean up, and you all help in your own various ways to help clean up. And your food is done, and Dedrir comes, kind of bids you farewell, grabs your hands, shakes it, gives you a very intentional look in your eye, Rigzin, as he shakes your hand. And to Milo, Caravel, and Maden, he does the same. And perhaps Maden, you try to pull away like a little bit too quickly or something, and he holds on and looks you in the eye, and just to like really push that feeling. And then he smiles, lets go, and bids you all farewell. You're currently standing in front of this cottage where you have been now after the battle and the like. How do you want to proceed?
Make our way to the cultists.
Yes, this
Okay.
is the plan.
Okay. Alright, let's go to the map.
And Coravel is escorting us as far as it takes to find our other friend, correct?
Yes, it is my understanding that,
Yeah.
based on our previous session, Coravel is with you until
Cool.
Sabriel is with you again.
Cool.
You make your way towards a new map. And at this point in time, with the travel, with the food, I imagine that dusk is kind of starting to set in.
Yeah. Right as the sun is setting, Milo will ask for a moment to pray. Privately. Not like for everybody.
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you find your moment to be able to kind of pray in the middle of the day, and you get to kind of like that. Shortly after that golden hour, as the sun is setting, you can kind of see a small fort on the horizon. Appears to be on kind of the top of a hill. I'm going to be placing you off the map, like I did a previous time. Give me just a second to make certain that this is all good. Masha, who did I miss? Coravel. Yeah, Miss Coravel, that's weird. So let me go ahead and share this map with you. Now, I believe I have set up their equivalent of dynamic lighting, Fantasy Grounds, correctly. If I haven't and you see the inside of the fortress, please tell me.
So far,
did I share it with you?
it's still loading. Yeah, it's still loading,
Gotcha.
for me at least.
Sure.
I see nothing.
I mean, I see our
Tokens.
tokens on a black grid so far.
Okay, but
Oh,
you don't
here it
see
comes. Here it comes. Okay, I can see. We are in black, but I can see a fortress to the left.
Got you. And can you see inside of it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that
I don't
didn't
see
work.
anything
Well,
in there, but I mean, I see some buildings.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and figure this out. But as you begin to look onto the fortress, you do see some small activity from it. Torches, I imagine, or not. No, actually, you don't see torches. It's which is strange to you, because normally a fort of this stature, it is trying to be kind of a beacon in the darkness for those who are looking, especially in Ravenel, from everything that you know. However, what you do see are people who are kind of walking about the ramparts of this, but to kind of like each of these crenellated towers. Now, you guys aren't so far away that you're causing anything or that I'm going to require stealth checks. You're happening kind of upon this scene. What are you doing? How are you reacting? What's going through your minds? How do you want to proceed? I'm going to go ahead and get the soldiers up on top of the crenellated towers shortly so you can see them. So why don't you discuss your next steps as I work on this?
So we expect there to be cultists. These are the ones who supplied the shop in town with with all the paraphernalia. So we think that they're working with the camp of Hellknights. Would they have a fortress?
No. It seems this fortress has been taken over by the cultists.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check really quick, too. Milo, you're able to ascertain that this fortress does not look like it's in good repair.
Mhm.
It is first thought is like, wow, fortress, but it looks like it has seen some neglect for some time.
Sure, it's old and not in good shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Perhaps they just discovered it. It wasn't built any time recently. Still, what's the plan? Do we... Maden, I know you were considering dressing up as a Hell Knight. Is this something we want to do?
Yes, the idea have crossed my mind. I wasn't expecting a palisade.
Yes, we must get entry.
Maden, do you have the armor with you now?
I think he would have remembered to grab it, right? I didn't specifically say.
Sure. It's the infinite pockets of role-playing games.
Yes.
Now we're blind. Okay, cool. It's going back.
Sorry, guys.
It's
I'm
fine.
just kind of
Milo
operating on the
will
fly
ask
here.
Maden, can you treat me as your prisoner? Milo just holds out his hands like to Jackal.
But we need more than you in the inside. We can't take them all on. Maybe we can open the gate and rush in.
Orwell, could you send Nasha in there and find us a stealthy way to get inside the walls?
Yes. Stealth would be great. We could hit him two-prong. You sneak in. I could take Madeline through the front door, maybe.
Yes, I believe I and Nasha could breach the front gate and see if we might be, or perhaps I can send Nasha in there, kind of unaware to all of the Hell Knights and to what is kind of going on, to see what is going on in the inside. What do you think of that?
I think your voice has changed.
It has.
It's the best
That is
idea
a
so
good
far.
idea.
Yeah, so far it's the best idea we've got.
Yes, especially the Rigzin not landing to down the armor.
Okay. I will need to at least sneak up to... So you would be able to at least ascertain from where you are that the building itself has... let's see here. It is... you've got this rocky formation that you kind of got to climb up first. and that's at least 15 feet. And then the building sets essentially atop this plateau. And so then the walls are another, let's say, 15, 20 feet that are there. So it stands up very high. It's not as big as it seems, mostly because it looks like it's just sitting atop a plateau. So you would like for me to go up there and to send Nasha in and see what we might be able to find?
Yes. Have you any means to communicate with Nasha? He's still freaked out by the snake.
Yeah. Well, Nasha and I have a bond. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know, he can't speak exact words, but I can speak his language. So let me I will have him go. Where would you like me to go? If you will point to where you would like me to recon.
See if there is a break in the wall, if the structure is unstable, if there is a small passage through that where we could all get in without going to the front door. If no such thing exists, then we shall just walk up to the front door.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to have him. Does anybody else want to attempt to help with the stealth as well, or to do the stealthing as well, to kind of look around a different side? Or
I should
are
probably
you
stay
good with
back.
just them?
Yeah,
I think I'll stay back.
Man, it would help.
Okay. All right. So we'll be against their perception. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. It is dark, so I'm going to have that play a factor into it for you. That will kind of give them a negative. If you're just looking at this side right here, obviously only, or if you're like just trying to kind of like look at one at a time, one thing you would notice as well, I haven't moved them yet, but these people are kind of like moving every so minutes. And just kind of like standing in new positions to kind of look as they're kind of rotating around the building. This particular side seems a little weak right now. And so why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth check, Maden. And I'll have Caravel and Nasha roll stealth checks as well.
I have that. Which just gives me automatic 17.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't know if I want to roll though, because I'm gonna be able to get higher.
Oh, I hear what you're saying. Got you. So you have assurance and stealth, so you're automatically just taking the 17. Got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So you have a 17. Let me go ahead and roll on their behalf.
I probably shouldn't use it, but 'cause I know I could roll a lot higher, but then again I could roll lower as well.
Okay. And then let me go ahead and roll on behalf of Coravel. Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. There's a great tool Fantasy Grounds has that I totally forgot about. It allows me to see everybody's skills and ability scores at a bird's eye view. It just makes it easier to roll.
With the party sheet, right?
It's in the party sheet. Unfortunately, neither of them are on the party sheet, so... right?
Not that helpful.
Yeah. Can I add them, like... Oh, I know what I gotta do. There we go. Perfect. Okay, now let me go ahead and roll that for them. Perfect. Okay. They do have a negative to their being able to see. Coravell, so funny enough, you and Coravell begin to sneak up, and maybe like a couple rocks like hit underneath or whatever, and these guys are just like, "Oh, did you hear something? We should go check it out." And you see that these people are walking back here. You haven't been spotted quite yet, but they are coming over to the side. Nasha, though, is able to kind of like creep onto the rock unsuspectingly without them noticing.
Maybe I
Maden,
should've rolled.
whatever decision you make, I'm going to have Coravell make in the interest of keeping it all on the same page.
Okay. So, the snake's doing fine. We're kicking rocks. Did we make it to the wall?
I imagine that, like, yeah, so... Gotta lock the sheet, that's why. So I imagine you and Coravell get to about right here when you make that noise that they hear.
Men here in the rocks would probably try to find a depression into the wall that he can lean against. Him and Corvo can lean against at least. So that way when they're looking up, they wouldn't be able to like see they're standing there.
Sure, that makes sense. Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to have the two of them roll perception checks again. And I'm going to say because you guys are kind of like depressed into the wall and because of like where you are, they're going to take at least a... I'm just going to take away their bonus, and it'll just be a straight up roll for them on a d20. Oops. It's going to say initiative, but it's the same roll, so don't worry about it. That's not initiative. I've just rolled what was most convenient. All right, go ahead and roll me your stealth checks. Again, they have pretty much what they rolled on the die. One essentially like gets close, and he's like, I think we're just hearing things, and he goes to walk back. The other just kind of like continues to like look in and see what he is able to ascertain. Cool. All right, let me go ahead and roll for Caravel on that stealth check.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure.
Oh my god, you both rolled natural 20s. That's amazing. So yeah, for this moment,
Sneaky.
he is looking and he just holds his breath. Maybe you're all holding your breath, and he's like peering out into the distance as this guy's walking away over here. And kind of like looks out into the darkness, shrugs, and begins to kind of like continue to make his rounds.
And then Maden hold his hand up to give a signal for continue.
Cool.
And we continue the
All right, so
approach.
roll me an athletics check as you guys begin to climb up this kind of rocky formation. Okay, athletics check from Nasha. And an athletics check from Coravell. Guys, cool. You guys roll well. Because there's no fail, I'm just going to roll those 20s over, because I always believe a 20 should be rewarded. And you guys were able to kind of like get up onto this area quietly without anyone knowing. As you're looking at the wall, it seems relatively intact. You don't see anything that looks like there's some type of breach to be able to break through, at least in this partition. If you guys want to continue to make your way around clockwise or counterclockwise to kind of like check for other entrances in, that's fine too.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we can continue. Just starting to
Okay.
rethink because putting the armor on and going to the front door would have been much easier. But yeah, trying to find a weakness so that way because I know Maden's thinking in his head Rigzin didn't want to don the armor, and it'd be maybe far fetched that he's bringing in so many prisoners here instead of the encampment. He's going to continue going clockwise.
Okay. Clockwise. All right. So roll me another athletics check as you kind of round this area. It's not going to be much. I'm just going to say it's pretty much like a DC 12, just to be able, because you're already up there. But I will require another not athletics stealth check as well.
Just waiting for that shoe to drop. Wow. Another nat 20.
No joke. Madden's rolling them. So yeah, Madden, I'm gonna say you get like all the way over here. Like you're in front. You're looking here, and you don't see a weakness, at least on this particular wall. You see that Nasha begins as a snake, kind of like loses a little bit, and kind of like slides off. As a result, Coravel makes some noise, reaching out for Nasha to kind of like save Nasha from falling all the way down. There's this person like right above you. I'm gonna have them roll a perception check. Oh, lame. Can't. Oh, there it is. Okay, you're fine. Coravel and Nasha are going to make stealth checks as well. Coravel is just out in the open with Nasha and looks up as this guy looks down at the two of them. Doesn't see you, Madden, and you see him breathing in, looking like he's about to shout as loud as he possibly can. Because of your amazing rolls, if you want to take an action, anything of your choice, you're more than welcome to attempt to do so before he yells out.
How far up is he from me?
About 15-ish feet.
Well, I mean, not much you could do. I could throw a javelin at him.
If you'd like to try, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I guess he'll throw the javelin since he's about to give away our position anyways. And hopefully hit him in the mouth before he screams.
Okay, so do you want to actually aim for his mouth? Because I'll let you, and I'll let it do bonus damage. If you hit.
Yeah, sure, why
But-
not?
But it will be at a minus to hit. Okay.
Let's see. Minus what?
I'm going to say a -3 to hit. And I'm going to say he's flat-footed, so he has a -2 to AC because he doesn't see that you're there. That's normal rules. So lower AC, but you also would take a minus to your hit.
God, should I go for cinematics or should I just go for the straight throw?
It's all up to Madden.
I tell you what, I'll even sweeten the deal a little bit here, and I will make it a -4 to hit. But if you hit, I will have it instantly kill him because it is in his head.
All right, let's do it.
Going for it.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Make a javelin roll. I will tell you the AC that you have to hit. 16. And you have a cumulative +3 to hit.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Madden
Plus seven.
throws this javelin from the darkness, and he just doesn't see it. This guy like breathes in, and it catches him underneath his jaw, and you can see like it like stick out, and you see him like spasm. And because he's leaning over the wall, he will actually fall over the wall towards Maden. Madden, do you want to try and catch him?
That's
Do you just want to
awesome.
let him fall? Well, how do you want to proceed?
He
I'll let
wants
you
to
try and catch him.
he wants to catch him and put him against the wall because if anybody else looks forward, they're gonna see a guy stick with the javelin sticking out of his face.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check to attempt to catch him.
This is where I fall off the cliff with the body.
Let's say this is a tricky maneuver you're doing. You're
out
on
of
the
roll.
sledge. You're catching this body. I gotta come up. Okay.
So funny.
Yes. You catch his body. It was a hard roll. You got it. You catch his body in your arms. You also manage to like keep yourself up from falling down. It is quiet.
Jeez.
Coravel looks at you, pulls Nasha up, and looks at you and just says, just like mouths, "Thank you."
As Maden takes his javelin back, he'll nod.
Awesome. So
That's
you just
pretty
like
sweet.
you can hear like the squelch come out as this guy is here. He's up against the wall. I'm just gonna delete his token as if he has been taken
That's
care
so
of.
funny.
All right, Coravel and Nasha are following you. Do you want to keep going?
Actually, at this point, Maden's thought process changed now. He's thinking it'd be a nice idea to throw a grappling hook up.
Okay.
And possibly, since they're -1 guard at the moment, and possibly get the party over the wall. But that would require some stealth checks to get up here.
So in Pathfinder, you can at least for 2E, you can have one person essentially roll it as they are kind of like assisting everybody up over the wall with their own
Stealthiness.
with their own expertise in stealth. Yes. I forget the exact rule and the mechanics of it, but that is a possibility. So if that's something you want to talk about while I look that up, you're more than welcome to.
All right. So Maden, having dispatched a guard, would start waving towards where they were with Rigzin and Milo to get their attention to come to him. I don't know if they could see him because it's not part of the plan.
You're like just around the corner. I feel like we lost
Yeah.
line of sight when you went around that corner.
I would say, in interest of time, as they went around the corner, we would have followed them but stayed back. Right.
Gone around the corner with them there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Just to keep a line of sight. Yeah.
we'll be here all night. So yeah, I think it would be fair to say that we are like adept at martial warfare enough to walk on the edge of the map along with them but stay out of sight.
Absolutely, I think that is. I think that's more than fair, especially at Rigzin's ability. You coach Milo through it. You see them over here on this wall.
I can't go left. I can't turn left. I'm like Zoolander.
You're not an ambi-turner.
There we go.
Ambi Turner, I forgot about that. Okay, well, guys, it's 11 o'clock. I've got to pee. Let's take a small break, and then we'll come back. Fair enough?
Got it.
Sounds good.
So if
All right, and welcome back. We all took a break, and our buddy Wanderer is back. We also took that time to kind of catch him up upon what is going on. So here you guys stand before the wall, having killed just one guard. I believe Maden was motioning towards his friends in the bush with the intent of throwing a grappling hook over this side to get over.
Sweet. So we need to stealth toward them? Is Maden gesturing for us to come closer yet, or what are we doing?
Yeah, he's gesturing for you to come.
Yeah, and you're able to time it just right to where that guy moves back into his other position. This guy kind of moves into this position, so on and so forth. Still going to have a perception check from this guard from the south. However, be it at a significant disadvantage. Just because of where he is, it would be very difficult for him to see. So I'm going to give him a -5 to his perception check. Because Maden is kind of coaching you, trying to he's like putting up his hands, telling you to walk quietly. You're following the expert, and so in Pathfinder, that allows you to take on his proficiency bonus in stealth for this check. So both of you roll stealth checks. If you'll go to the bottom, where you say bottom left-hand corner of the Fantasy Grounds client, you'll see where it says modifier. Just put a 5 in there, and it will automatically add that to your next roll, which for you guys will be stealth checks. Make sense?
We're adding 5 to our roll?
Yes, because that
Nice.
is Maden's trained bonus.
Or would I add the difference between 5 and my own roll? So I get a +5.
No, you add 5 to your roll. Perfect. All right, so that worked out perfectly. The guy appears to be unaware of you guys creeping up to this part of the wall. Now, this part of the wall it's going to require an athletics check to get up. So if you'll roll me an athletics check now, Rigzin, if you wanted to help Milo, that's something that you would be able to do. Pointing out different handholds using your athletics check, he can follow the expert with you to gain your bonus, which would also be a +5 at this level.
Yeah, Milo will need the help. Oh, I've got it. Oh, I'm very muscular.
Okay, yeah, that is enough for all of you to kind of climb up on this ledge. If you want to move yourself, Milo, that's fine. Just in the interest of space, it couldn't really squeeze you in there.
Yeah, I know.
All of you are up on this ledge with the wall right in front of you. How do you proceed?
So Maden would inform him of the plan to climb over, and then he would proceed. I don't know. To look at Milo and tell him to tie the rope around him so they could pull him up once they get up.
This is humiliating.
And look at Coraville and suggest maybe the same thing. He doesn't know how good he is at climbing, but if he feels like if he needs to do the same thing, because they could pull him up as well.
Is climbing athletics?
Yes, it will be an athletics check.
Yeah, he's okay at climbing. He kind of waves like I'm okay, but he doesn't look entirely sure. So he's probably not an expert.
All right. So man, at that point would take I think we still have the grappling hook attached to the rope that we use for the sea creatures, and proceed to take it from his pack and throw it up there.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an athletics check to see if you're able to get it up there. And I will roll a perception check from our guys because they are listening.
Man will cough at the same time to kind of disguise the noise.
All right.
Oh fuck.
Okay. Yeah, a 12 just kind of like you kind of like clatters up, but it doesn't get over like you were hoping it would. It does seem to have alerted some of the guards, though. Did you hear that sound? Yeah, let's check it out. As they begin to move towards you, these guys up here. You know what? In the interests of doing this by the book, let's all go ahead and roll initiative. I'm not saying we're entering combat, but because this is a very tense moment, I do think that this is a round-by-round thing that we might need to do. If you don't have anything you do, just say pass. Fair enough, guys?
Fair.
Sounds good.
Let those low rolls commence. At least one of us is going first.
Okay.
Maybe we should have had Corville shoot the grappling hook up there with an arrow. Or it's 4 to hold the weight.
So this guy who's far away actually did not hear anything. He was actually first in the turn order. I'm just going to skip him. He's looking out. Coravel, you are up. Is there anything you'd like to do at this moment?
No, I'm gonna hold my action and wait for Maden.
Okay. This guy is just going to take his movement. He's not in a rush, though, so he's going to make his movement here, and he will be able to get a perception check. Let me go ahead to see if he can ascertain what the heck is going on. If all of you would roll me a stealth check, I imagine all of you are up against the wall. That would be helpful.
Who's going to give us away?
Rigzin and Maden, you can be benefiting from his +5 for the follow the expert trait on
I'll take it.
action.
I was waiting
So
for
Rigzin,
permission.
I'll give you a 13.
Oh, mine
Milo
paused
and-
on an 18 and then rolled onto the 6. A 5 rather.
That is one thing I really like about Fantasy Grounds is the ability to see the dice and all see it at the same time and be like, son of a bitch!
You're so close.
Okay, cool. So this guy does not see you. I'm going to go ahead and roll this other one's as well, just because he is within range, but it won't trigger until his turn.
I guess your stealth ain't as bad as I thought it was, Corville.
No, it's just my rolls that are bad.
This one appears over here to your right. It doesn't appear to see anything. Perhaps he's like looking out as opposed to looking low. Maden, you are up. You see this one guy coming to your left, or at the very least, you could probably hear the footsteps from the left and from the right. How do you proceed?
Yeah, he's not throwing the grappling hook while they're all standing there, so he's gonna keep leaning against the damn wall.
Okay, just keep leaning against the wall.
Yeah.
Rigzin, Milo, Nasha, anything you guys want to do? Or I guess Nasha would be on Coravel's turn.
Yeah, I guess not. Milo's still got this rope around his waist, and is the grappling hook up there? It's just not attached? to
No, it's
anything?
not attached.
It fell back down?
Yeah.
Alright, so Milo's just standing there with a rope around his waist like a dummy.
Okay. All right. So then I'm gonna, if none of you are gonna do anything, I'm gonna jump to this guy who moves, looks over the edge, and rolls a 21 perception check,
Oh,
which is
dear.
enough to see Milo,
Yeah,
Rigzin,
most of
and
us.
Coravel as he looks at all of you with wide eyes, and he is going to blow that whistle as hard as he can. Just, we've got intruders! And so now this will transition to combat. All right. This guy up here is going to 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's his round. Is just running over there as fast as he possibly can. Coravel, you are up.
Okay. This human one, I think I'm going to go for. I am going to. Let me pull up my actions. I am going to use heat metal on him.
Okay. you
On
use-
his armor.
on his armor. Okay. Yeah, that's not something that he can save from, huh?
I think.
Is there an attack roll or a
I
save?
think he gets to attempt a reflex save.
Okay, so
maybe.
he is
Maybe.
wearing scale mail.
Yeah. So yeah, he
me
gets
see.
to it. So he's going to take 4d6 fire and 2d6 persistent fire. But it says he gets to attempt a reflex save, but it doesn't say what happens if he succeeds. Oh no, here we go. Success, the creature takes half damage and no persistent. Okay. So yeah, he gets his reflex save.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna go ahead and try to take that. So let's go ahead and roll that. And the save is what do I gotta hit?
Where's my save again? I keep forgetting.
That's okay. You're gonna go to your actions tab on your character sheet.
Yep.
Open up the little magnifying glass next to the banner that says Druid CL3, and then it will say DC total.
DC total 19.
Okay, he rolled an 18, so that will hit him, and it will continue to burn him. He's just like, oh! Can you roll damage from your sheet for that ability? Oh, we need to change display to actions, and then it will. I should have a little blood red. There you go. All right, 10 points of damage as this guy just begins to burn.
And he's going to take 2d4 persistent as well.
Does he take that immediately, or does he take that next round?
I'd have thought it's next round, but it doesn't.
See how persistent damage
say.
works.
Yeah.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah, we'll say next round. So he screeches out in pain. Do you want Nash? So that's 2 actions. You have 1 action left for Korova.
Yeah, can Nashar make it up this wall?
You can sure have her climb. Go ahead.
Or
have
up
her
the
roll
rope,
enough
I guess,
check.
if Maden's holding the rope. Yeah, it's, you can
No,
go.
the grappling hook did not actually make it up. It bounced off the top.
Okay. Yeah, so Nashar's going to try and get up this wall.
Okay, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
Okay. My mouse problems. Hold on.
You're good, man. No worries.
Nope.
Let's see here. I'm gonna say that the Shah struggles to find purchase with her snake body. So that will be one of her actions. She has 2 left.
That'll be it. No, I think we share actions, don't we?
Actually, no. I think you use an action to like command her, and it gives her 2 actions. I believe that's what happens.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, no. She's done. She can't get up.
Okay, she is done. Let's go with Human 4. That's what we'll call him. It's his turn, and he is like, it's like, and I'm gonna say like he is just like he's taking the entire turn to essentially take off this piece of armor which is on top of him. So let's go ahead and just like trying to struggle out of it as much as he can. That's his whole turn. I'm gonna go ahead and roll an athletics check for him, see if he's able to do it quickly enough. Amazingly, he is. He rolls a 25, so he is able to like get it at just the right spot to like fling the armor off of him. However, that does give him a reduced AC, the ability to hit. Maden, you are up.
Sorry, I think
go ahead.
with the persistent damage, I think they take it. You already rolled the damage. I think you take the damage, and then at the end of your turn, you roll the check to see if you recover from it. So I think you should take the persistent damage before the end of his turn.
Got it. Okay, so then let's go ahead and give that damage to him. Do you want to roll that, Mr. Wanderer?
Yeah.
4 points of damage to this man.
And then he saves.
Okay, then let's and he. Well, I rolled an athletics check, but we'll say that I guess was his roll, was pulling it off of him. That makes sense. Okay. Maden, I'm saying that the athletics check will function as his reflex save to take it off. That's what I was saying. Maden, you're up.
Alright, so since he's still holding the rope and the grappling hook, knowing that he can't fight, he only has so many javelins, and pretty close to being out of range. He's going to throw the grappling hook back up and go from there.
All right, roll me that athletics check. Natural 20.
Wow.
You get it over and you get it synced in, and that is a solid grappling hook. That is one action.
And Milo's flying with it.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That's fun. Actually, what we'll say is
Halfway up.
you got it around one of the little crenellations, and so and it whipped like around and came down like the because it's a natural 20. It should be awesome, right? It just like perfectly did it and looped around to where it is right there. If you as a second action just wanted to yank on it and try and send Milo up, you could absolutely do it.
I mean,
Yeah, throw me in. I'll tank.
that's what I'm thinking. Let's just put him in the worst spot ever. Besides next to a wall with nowhere to go.
I'll just sit down and pray while you guys fight.
He'll actually. I'm trying to think how much you can counterbalance. Yeah, no, he'll actually not pull Milo up into the middle of nowhere with a bunch of people with weapons, and start climbing. As cool as it would be to just pull Milo up there. I'm thinking that that might be the equivalent of, like, I don't know, feeding your hamster to your cat.
Okay, so you're essentially going to try it. So I can try diplomacy. You're essentially going to use him as a counterbalance to. Well, and I'll say that the grappling hook, like you can just like shove it into the ground, or there's something right there that you can put it into, so that way you don't have to worry about flinging him. And I'm going to roll that athletics check over because it's a natural 20, so you get about halfway up the wall. If you want to, if you roll a successful athletics check one more time, I will say you're up there and standing and ready to do business. Okay. Yep, you are up there and standing and ready to do business, man. And you are on the tower. Okay. Shall I describe what you see from your area?
You can. He has tunnel vision on the enemies, so he's not scouting.
Sure. Okay. All right. You have tunnel vision, but what you see are multiple prisoners in the yard. What appears to be some small devils with cultists kind of in this wordly direction. And it seems like there are indeed Asmodeus cultists here. You have one action left.
So, which one's on? The human 4 is on fire, right? He's a little preoccupied.
He has taken his armor off. He's a lot easier to hit, but you can see that his skin is burned.
Yeah, Maden's gonna start moving towards the healthy ones. Hoping that
Maden,
at least pull one or two of them off the group sitting down there so they can make the climb.
Okay, Maden, go ahead and move your person, and I'm assuming you're taking your weapon out as you're running.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Rigzin, you are up.
Yeah, I'm going to climb the wall.
All right, go ahead and give me an athletics check. All right, that's enough to begin climbing. Give me one more, and you'll be over this round with this next action. Okay. You kind of lose your grip a little bit and slide, but you're still in the same place. You can make another athletics check or do something else. But if You essentially don't move.
I'll make my last action.
Okay, last athletic check. That's enough to get up and get over onto the parapet. You see the same thing as Maden did. You see what are clear to be peasants in the yard. You see some cultists and some devils kind of on the horizon. And I'll go ahead and reveal all of this in a second. But you can see that there is like a whistling, like a getting into action, getting ready to fight type thing going on. All right, Maden and Rigzin, that's your turn. Milo, you are up.
What is my rope situation now? Because, I mean, do I basically have a pulley where it's easier for me to pull myself up now?
I mean, theoretically, you could. If that's...
Yeah, theoretically, kind of you could. You could easily... you could take that other one and, begin to try and pull yourself up.
I think that would make it easier mechanically with a pulley than it is to just climb a rope.
Because if it came back down, you could absolutely lose it as a pulley.
So my raw athletics check is a 0. Do I get any modifier, or is it just a low DC to hit, or?
Because nobody's helping you with this, you have your athletics check, and I will lower the DC of pulling yourself up.
Just first action is just try to start climbing, pulling myself up.
Okay, that is successful. You get about halfway. If you can make another successful one, you will get up and over.
I'm gonna try.
That is not enough, but you hold yourself in place. You just get probably freaked out for a second.
This is so embarrassing. He used my last action to try again to get all the way up to the top.
This is amazing.
Is that high enough?
Oh, that is not high enough. You still are just stuck where you are.
Just like a baby hanging from the...
Like a baby hanging.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Yeah, just swinging from my own rope.
Okay. Okay, give me a second to roll some things. You hear some people from the yard yelling, "Help us! Save us! When you help us!" You hear some cultists yelling, "Get them! They're breaking and entering!" And you know what? At this moment, I'll go ahead and reveal what everybody sees. I think it'll be more fun that way anyway. As the yard is pretty much filled with people. From what you can see, you do know that there are some buildings as well, and there might be more people in them. Okay. They are going to begin running towards this various ladders. So, go ahead and exit mask mode. Okay, I'm going to say he gets up there. Say he gets up there as well. This one is gonna up there. He'll still be kind of at the base of the stairs. This guy is going to interact with Maden. He's got a. He's gonna reach for his club. That's action 1. Pull it out. Action 2 will be to attack Maden. So here comes a club, Maden. Was on a 19, rolled to a 3. That is a miss. Second attack at a -5. That is a total of a 28 for a 23. I'm still assuming that hits Maden, though.
For 23, yeah.
Okay, 7 points of damage as he clubs you in the chest, and he gets you. There is an imp that begins to fly. 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. Kind of gets up, kind of flies over this gate. Another 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And it is going to engage with... actually, no, wait a minute. It is going to get about there. And what it's going to do, Mr. Maden, is that it is going to launch a stinger at you. Or Rigzin, my apologies, not Maden. Okay, I have. So this would be just one attack because it takes more actions. That is a 19 on the die. That is a 28. So that is a critical on Maden.
Rigzin.
Rigzin, you take 9 points of evil damage, and I need you to roll me a fortitude save. That is enough. You save against it. There's just a little stinger sticking in you as it is right there. That's its turn. This guy is going to go ahead, first action, and pull out his crossbow. Second action, load it. Third action, fire on Rigzin, or Maden. Got all my attacks all off. Fires the crossbow. So 21, that should hit Maden for 2 points of damage as it just grazes his shoulder. This thing also begins to fly. Flies up into the air and sees Rigzin and will attempt to shoot a... Oh no, it's not going to shoot. It's going to come up to Rigzin, start battling with him on this parapet, and is going to attempt to bite him with its mandibles. That is a natural 1. That is a crit fail. Rigzin, will you go ahead and roll me a D100 to see what happens? To roll. Oh, you got it. Okay. 10. Oh, 10 and 10. So that's just a straight up 10. All right, so he just like badly misses you and kind of turns around in a comical way to the point where he has a -2 to his AC for the next round. Okay, Coravel, you are up. You are not up there yet.
No, but I can see that guy I injured. I can presumably see this guy as well, right? Human 4?
Yes, you can see 4. He's up there kind of... He's got cover from where he's standing behind like the spikes in the palisade.
Okay, I can't really climb the rope though, can I? Because Milo's on it.
No, you can't, because he's on the...
You step on his head as you're on your way up.
Just climb up past him.
I'm a foothold.
Yeah! It's a foothold.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to try and climb up past him, and I'll say, sorry, excuse me. Up. Don't mind me.
Right.
You're doing really well, by the way.
Such a meaning roll. Oh, that's awesome. That's a natural 20.
That's so
20.
Yeah, so like you ninja off of what happens is you like place a foot into Milo and like jump off of him, not even using the rope to get up there in one action.
You're welcome.
Yeah. You go, buddy.
That's great.
Yeah.
You did one action.
So, yeah, Clunky's up there, and he is going to. I've got this thing right next to me now, haven't I? So I kind of appear on the wall and suddenly realise I've got an enemy right next to me. So let me just look at this. 5-foot emanation. I'm going to. This is awkward. Actually, I'm gonna. If I draw a weapon, that's an action, presumably.
If you draw an yes, that is an action.
Okay, so
The creature flying that just stuck Rigzin, by the way, looks like this. Sorry, I'm just going to start posting some artwork to kind of showcase what some of these creatures look like.
yeah, so interesting. And I guess if I cast a spell from this close. That might be good either. Oh, I'm going to use produce flame as a melee attack.
As a melee attack?
Yeah. It says a small ball of flame appears in the palm of your hand and you lash out with it either in melee or at range.
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay. Yeah,
Ew.
that is the thing that just tried to bite Rigzin.
I can see why you take evil damage from that.
Yeah, I want to burn that.
Okay.
Kill it with fire.
Okay, make
Fire.
a melee attack, unarmed reach. So melee, let's do this. Okay, 17. So I mutter an incantation and flame springs forth from my hand, and then I just try and slap him with that flame.
And he's got a -2 to his AC. That'll hit.
Hey, excellent.
Go ahead and roll me damage.
So 1d4 plus, yeah.
Okay, so 6 points of
Damage.
damage to this creature. And it screeches at that as it happens.
Nice. And the last action, Nashar is going to come over to the rope.
Uh-huh.
How much movement does Nashar have? I can't remember. Speed 30. Okay, so that was 5, 10, 15, 20.
And Nashah, wait,
Nashah-
does Nashah have a climb speed?
Oh, quite possibly. Let me have a look.
Because if Nashah does have a climb speed, then it actually does not have to roll an athletics check. It just automatically gets it.
Point. Abilities. Let's look here. See notes. I can't see special. Yeah, there's nothing under special movement from the shark, are they? Don't know whether it's been filled in.
Nashah has a climb speed of 20 feet.
Oh, excellent.
I'm looking at the snake underneath the animal's companions. So,
Okay,
yeah,
great.
you could just climb up as a free action on one turn.
Great, so Nashar makes it up to the top there.
You know what that means? I accidentally messed you up earlier because he should have been able to have gotten that for free. So
No worries.
we'll find some way of making that right. But go ahead.
Yep, no worries. And then second action, 3, 4 comes across here to help Maden. Can't attack
Comes
yet.
across there
So.
to help Maden. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'll give +5 to Nashah's next attack. Fair enough?
Sounds great, thank
I feel
you.
like that should balance the scales a bit. Okay, this guy who is still hurt, he's saved against the persistent damage. So he's going to draw his crossbow, load his crossbow, and shoot it at Coravel. So that will be a 22 to hit. That will hit Coravel for 7 points of damage as a bolt just like sticks right in his side. These creatures have not gone yet, and they are not very fast. 10, 15, 20, 5, 10. They kind of just like barely make that one up the ladder, and that was just going to wait for his turn. Because they're also not very well. It's not up to no. Maden, you're up.
Alright, Maden's gonna start swinging away.
Okay, swing away. Signs. Oh no!
Wow.
All right, let me roll that D100. Did it not make it in the box? Oh shoot! Okay, it doesn't count if it's not in the box. That's the rule. 88. That's not good. The higher, the worse. Oh shoot! Okay, you miss so bad that it knocks the weapon out of your hands. maybe like strike the palisade with it, and the reverberations go through your main swinging arm. So you're going to take a -2 to your to 1d4 attacks. 3 to your next 3 attacks, you will take a -2, and your weapon is currently on the floor. You have 2 actions left.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll take another action to pick up his weapon.
Okay, and then 1 action left.
All right, and then he'll make another attack. It'll be a second attack.
Cool. Just want to remind
-4.
everybody, just because it's been a bit since we've played, just a reminder that -10 a person's AC is a crit fail, and +10 over their AC is also a crit success. Continue.
Okay, and what was it? A minus what?
You have a -2 to this attack. So you can put it under the modifier in the bottom left corner, just put a -2, and then roll your second attack. Or we could just do the math on our head. It's not a big deal. 11. So that is a total of... Oh, that already factors it in. Okay, that's just
yeah,
a
I did
miss.
it. Yeah, me my little rolls.
Rigzin. You know these creatures. You have seen these creatures on previous expeditions that you have been on. These are devils.
Wait. Actions. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to swing my great axe at this thing that's attacking us. 3.
Okay, that is just a miss. Even with the -2 to its AC.
And the second attack.
That is a hit. Actually, wait, let me double check. Yes, that is a hit. Go ahead.
Makes the damage.
Okay, 6 points of damage. As you strike this thing, you realize not all of your damage has gone through.
And here's the...
Actually, wait. Oh, never mind. You don't have your silver weapon. Okay, that is just a miss.
Oh, that's my actions.
Okay. Milo, it is your turn. Roll me that athletics check. Yes! Milo gets up and over. Okay. Okay, that will absolutely hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, and all of it should go through. Okay. So yeah, let me go ahead and take back. Oh wait, no. Okay, so there we are. Okay, first one it will take for 9 points of damage, correct? Yeah, the thing screeches out in pain, just. Also, you also realize that it does more damage to it as its eyes begin to burn and you see smoke coming off of it and like jittering at you. Okay, that is Milo's turn. These prisoners keep yelling at you. They're like, "You got this, save us, please!" Alright, but it is the cultist's turn. And so they are going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's as far as that one gets. It's this guy's turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just rushing in as fast as they can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And cultist number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. You know what? I'm gonna say that's the part he got because I think he was still on the ladder. All right, it's this guy's turn. He's fighting for his life with Maden and Nasha right there. So he's gonna go ahead and take his club and just gonna go ahead and roll a d6 to see who he attacks. 1 through 3 is Nasha. 4 through 6. It is a 5 on the die, so he will attempt to continue to attack Maden with his first blow. It's a natural 20 on the die. That will automatically be a critical threat. Luckily, that's only a 13, so it's just regular 2 times damage. So let's go ahead and roll that damage on Maden. 15 points of damage as Maden. You take a huge blow. Your bell is rung pretty hard after that. Second attack. This will be at a -5. God, I'm rolling rocks. That's a natural 19 on the die. But with the -5, that only brings it to a 23. So that is just a regular roll hit for minimum damage. 5 points of damage to Maden. And final attack at a total of a -10. Rolls a natural 4. That is a crit fail. He overextends himself on this particular hit and wheels around in a comic fashion. His AC is at a -2. He just got way too excited, so he will be easier to hit this next round. It is the Imp's turn. It is going to attempt to shoot a stinger after seeing what Milo did on Milo. So he will stop focusing Maden, focus there. And here we go. It is... Actually, let's see here. Okay, yeah. So this thing is going to shoot a stinger at Milo. It's its first action. Natural 18 on the die. That's a 27. That is a crit. I am rolling rocks, guys.
Ow. Someone take that man's dice away.
14 points of piercing, and I'm just glad that my luck from Demon Gate goes everywhere else. Roll me a fortitude save, Milo. That'll be a save. You succeed at that. This other thing that this thing does is moves over here. 5, 10. Actually, let's see. Yeah, it wants to cut you guys off. 5, 10, 15. Moves right there. And as its final action, as it lands, it turns into a boar with jagged tusks as it snorts in Milo's direction. It does. This guy is going to move forward, reload, and then this time he's going to shoot at Nasha, feeling like his buddy has got this in hand. Crossbow attack on Nasha, just 1. That is a natural 17. 24 total. So that will be a total of 1d8 damage. 7 points of damage to Nasha as a bolt embeds into him. Alright, it is this Accuser Devil. It does not like what just happened to it. So it's going to float right there as its first action. Second action is it's going to target Milo. Third action is it's going to attack with its gross mandibles that are coming out of its little baby mouth. That is going to be a 17. That hits you, Milo? Your AC is lower than 17? Oh, you have exactly 17. Okay. Let's see how much damage this does to you. 11 points of damage, and I need you to roll me a fortitude save. That is a save. You are good. All right, Coravel, you are up. Very important round. What you going to do?
Panic. Right. Okay. Coravel is. Coravel is actually going to cast Acid Arrow on this. Yeah, I guess I can hit this devil now. I'm now at range, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to try and hit it with an Acid Arrow. Let me just check. Yeah, let's try it. Let's give this a go. See what happens. Roll the dice and give it a try. Oh. Ah, darn. Sorry.
You're good.
I've got
You're good.
Fantasy Grounds open on both screens, and
That will be a hit, and that will be a crit. That
Nice.
is a crit magic hit. Go ahead and roll me damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you to roll it twice because I don't think it will. You know what? You don't even need to worry about hitting it twice. Once
still
is
gonna do
enough. Okay. 28 points of damage as this thing, like this little baby with a roach body and mandibles in its mouth, gets an acid dart that just impales it right in its chest, and it starts to screech as it kind of like flies and then like crashes down into the tent below as it just kind of like is melting before all of your eyes. It is clearly dead. Again, I have to remind myself I don't have to do hand motions.
So that was 2 actions, and then the third action, Nashar is he's going to order Nashar to attack this human, which she will do.
Okay.
She is going to try and bite him.
All right, Nasha, I'll go ahead and went ahead and targeted for you. So go ahead.
Thank
and make
you.
your
And
attack
this will be this plus 5.
Okay, this plus 5. That's right. I forgot all about that. That will absolutely be a hit, and it has a -2 to its AC. So let me actually. I just want to make,
And
this might actually
not
be a
armored,
crit.
right?
No,
Not
the one to your northeast is unarmored. He's the one that is
Oh,
armored.
okay. Cool. Yeah.
But nonetheless, this will hit. So 5, 7. So that's a 20. I can do math in my head. That is not enough for a crit hit. So just go ahead and roll damage. 11 points of damage as Nasha bites into this thing, and these guys like, oh! Does Nasha have the ability to like also like constrict?
Yes.
It can. He gets a free grapple attempt with that. So go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Excellent. So it's a separate attack. I don't know if that still works. Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's see if the constrict is okay. I have to make a opposed athletics check as you begin wrapping around this thing. That's a fail. That's a crit fail. Nasha, like I imagine, like swoops up his leg and brings around his torso, gets around his neck, and for Nasha's final action, because the grapple was part of the attack, mind you, it gets for his final action, he can essentially do a constrict maneuver, which means that because he's grappled him, he could just do automatic damage that is the equivalent of his Jaws attack.
Oh, actually, it says there he's got a separate constrict attack. I don't know if that works, but
well then, let's see what that looks like. So so that's used. So then that's just 12 bludgeoning damage that he automatically does to him. That's how that works.
Nice.
So Nasha, that will actually kill this person. So he bites, swoops up, and just like suffocates him to death, like collapses his trachea, and he falls to the ground dead.
And Nashar, just as the guy sort of falls, there's a kind of crunching of vertebrae as this guy falls, and then Nashar looks up and gapes her jaws and hisses at the guys along the wall.
Okay, awesome. Sick. Super sick. All right, that was that guy's turn. All right, it is this guy's turn who is going to reload and fire on Caravel. So here comes the attack. Caravel. That is a 16. That is a miss. Just goes right over your shoulder. For his final action, he will reload. Ready to fire next turn. All right, these guys. 5, 10, 15, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is his turn. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what I realized? I actually never rolled initiative for all of these other people. I should do that. My apologies, guys. No, I forgot to roll on all the people I revealed. I didn't roll their initiative. So, and actually, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these guys from the... Let's just do... Oh, no. Okay. Either way, it's Maden's turn. Because they rolled down in their initiative order. So, Maden, what would you like to do?
All right.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, never mind.
Oh.
I just wasn't certain if you were there for a second.
Well, the imp's right behind him, so he's gonna turn and try to. Oh. Okay. All right then. He'll
So-
move along. Go ahead. So he's gonna go ahead and engage the closest human, which would be coming up. So he'll move in for one action.
Okay, for one action, go ahead and take your strike.
And it's a -4. Minus 4 or -2?
-2.
That's right.
Oh, I was on that 13. That is a miss, unfortunately. Right?
And we'll do it again.
That, unfortunately, is also a miss. You have one action left. What would you like to do? I believe that is all of the attacks for you, so you no longer have the -2 on your attacks.
All
Your
right.
hand starts to feel better.
The movement didn't count as an action.
Oh, you did. Thank you. My
Yep.
apologies. And after actually rolling initiative for these guys, I after actually rolling for, because I had you go after Nasha, or I had you go after Human 4, right? Yeah. All right. So the imp and the cultists actually get that would technically be their turn in the round. So I'm going to jump back up to them, and then we'll jump back down to Rigzin. My apologies, guys. I got everything out because I didn't roll initiative properly. This guy has got a dagger, and he is going to go ahead and throw it at you. However, these guys are giving you cover, so it's going to be difficult for him to get to you. This attack will be at a we'll say 4 is covered. So -4 on Maden. That's a 18. Does an 18 hit your AC?
Negative.
Okay, so the dagger goes right over your shoulder. Second action grabs another dagger. Third action is he throws the final dagger at a total of a +2. So that will be 19. Does a 19 hit your AC?
Negative.
Okay. Actually, it would be -5, -2. So actually, 17 -1. All right. So yeah, that is definitely a miss. Curses underneath his breath. This cultist is going to rush up. 5, 10, 15, 20, 20, 25, 5, 10, 15. Okay, so either way, it takes him 2 move actions to get up into Caravel's area. He is going to go ahead and target Caravel with his dagger and slice out at him for 1 attack. That is a 14 to hit. That is a miss as he just brandishes it wildly and it really doesn't work. This guy has loaded his crossbow. He's going to fire at... Oh no, we already did human 4. That's right. So we go down to the imp, who is now in boar form. And is going to... let's see. Should he target... I'm going to roll a d6 here. 1, 2, 3 is Nasha. 4 through 6 is Milo. The die gods have decided a 6. It is Milo.
I'm gonna die.
Milo, this thing is going to attack you with its tusks. Here it comes. It has a +9 to hit. I apparently have untargeted you. There we go. There we go. Now I've properly targeted you. Alright, this will say Stinger, but it's actually just its tusks with a +9. That gets exactly a 17 again. You don't have a buckler or shield or anything like that?
I have a shield as a spell reaction, but I need to use all my actions to try to keep everyone else alive. It's tough.
Isn't... No, it can't, and that can't be...
It's a shield
I know that
spell
there's
that I can use 1 action to activate. But that just gives you +1 to AC, and I didn't do it yet, so...
Got you. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. Yes, it is going to hit you. Let's see what happens here. A 1d10 -1 piercing damage. Alright, it does 5 points of damage to Milo with its tusks. And it will attempt to attack Milo again with its tusks. This will be at a -5. Only a total of a +4 to hit. That'll be exactly a 17.
Jeez.
Wow. Wow.
I only have 5 hit points left. Let's see.
Alright, let's see what happens. 1d10 -1. Rolls to a 4.
Wow.
You have 1 hit point left. Okay, and it is going to take its final attack on Milo.
Okay.
Because why not? It is a devil and it sees a holy man. Here we go. Natural 5. So that is a -4. That is a crit fail.
Nay.
Okay, the crit fail rolls an 8. It is it just like swings and it kind of like gets off kilter. Its AC is -2 for the next round.
Cool.
Actually, I'm gonna just next for the next 3 rounds. It's kind of like because it's this creature on this parapet. It's thin, so -2 to its AC for the next 3 rounds. All right, that is its turn. This cultist runs forward 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 5, 10. He's going to pull out his dagger, and he is also going to target... he's also going to target Caravel, because he's just right there. Why not? He's going to throw it. -4 because of cover. So it'll be a 21 to hit. That will hit Mr. Caravel.
Ouch.
Caravel, you take 6 points of piercing damage as a dagger embeds itself into you. He pulls out another dagger and throws it. This will be at a -5. That is a miss. Goes over your shoulder. Maden, you are up.
All right. We'll continue on with doing what we do best. I think this time, though, he'll go into a rage for 1 action.
Okay. Maden flies into a rage. 14. That is a miss, unfortunately. Second attack is a hit. 21. Go ahead and roll your damage, my man. Got 8 points of damage as you cut him pretty good. You have one action left. What would you like to do, friend?
Nah, the rage was an action too.
Oh, that is correct. Thank you. All right, Rigzin, you are up.
Can I move past Corowell to that cultist?
You can, yes. So you can move past Coravel right there, or you can move past Milo and get right there. There's some space. Whichever you'd like.
Can you
Okay, so then
heal? Milo's about to bleed out. You don't have to. I'm just reminding you, Milo's about to bleed out.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if this will work or not.
The question is, does Rigzin
care.
have the ability to channel his lay on hands ability,
that's true.
even though he's renounced his paladin oath?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair. He wouldn't even think to, probably, at this point.
Yep. So I'm just gonna attack this boar. First attack.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
Second attack.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, wait. Hold on a second. No. That is a hit, actually. The first one. Second one's definitely a miss. But the first one, because of the -2 to its AC, is a hit. All right, you deal 10 points of damage. You know that you should be able to do more to this thing, but it is not going through. Not all of it, at least.
That's my turn.
Okay. Really quick. What is Rigzin's alignment?
I don't know at this point.
That's a good point. Has he done enough to not be good anymore? I'm going to say no. It takes a while. So that actually... So you are still good. Maybe you don't still have this faith or whatever, but... Are you working through all of that? But it still hits him. Does something else as well. Okay. Goes through. Milo, you are up. Standing at 1 HP.
Yeah. Milo's feeling very woozy and says, I'm sorry, I'm going to heal everyone, including this imp that's right next to me. Make sure I'm targeting it. Yes, I am. Okay, I'm going to heal a bunch of people. They're all targeted in the initiative tracker. Yeah, just gonna send out a big, blast of light to all around me. And it's not even a good heal. We'll see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, that is, oh no, you healed everybody.
I have to.
Is it supposed to heal?
I have to.
You do?
I emanate a 30-foot blast of radiant healing to everyone around me who's alive. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But it's heal and it's a divine font.
Yes.
Would that also damage undead?
Only undead. Yeah.
Not devils.
Well,
just to be clear.
I think that's a great question. With the yeah, it didn't say devils. I don't think. Let me double check. Oh,
Just seems weird that they would be healed by it.
Yeah. Sorry, should have googled this earlier. What do you call this?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it heals everybody, kind of. But luckily, the only person it really affects on your enemy's side is the imp.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Oh,
right.
wait a minute.
If you will. Okay.
Never mind. I think I'm good. I don't get the. That's correct. Everything looks good.
All right. This cultist is fanatical. And so with its dagger, it's actually going to come through and attempt to move through Rigzin's square. Rigzin, do me a favor and gonna roll an athletics check as it tries to tries to push you or move through your square. So roll me an athletics check as he tries to do that. All right, Rigzin, I meant Maden. My apologies. Maden, please roll that athletics check.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, my bad. He's got just a straight 7. 16. All right, so he is unable to get through your square, and I'm going to have him roll an acrobatics check to see if he falls off this parapet and takes falling damage. I don't think that is enough for him to crit fail it, so he is able to maintain his balance. And you know what? He's going to do something dumb from there and actually try and roll an acrobatics check to jump over to the house and try and make his way over that way. That is a fail. He jumps and falls in, and actually is going to take some damage as a result. 7 points of falling damage for him as he falls down to the earth. Okay, guys, it is 12:26. I realize it's late. I want to suggest that we finish this round and then pick it up from here the next time we play, if you guys are okay with that.
Works for me.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Works for me.
Okay, cool. All right, and the round's not going to be terribly long as well, as these guys 10, 15, 20, 5, 10. These guys
Just lumber up.
Yeah, they're just going to lumber up. That's really pretty much all they can do. All right, guys. So here we are in the middle of a battle over this fortress. Devils have flown in and turned into imps. There are cultists who are just fanatical, making their way towards you, and humans are on the side. If that wasn't enough.
It was.
Out of one of these doors comes a woman, and she looks like this. As she steps out of the door, you can see sigils of Asmodeus upon her, her eyes glowing red, emotive flame twirling around her as she is looking at this unholy book in her hand. She closes it and looks up. What is all this racket? You have come here, and you will not escape, and we'll leave it there as where we lay off for this evening. All right, guys. Good session. I know you think y'all are going to die, but I really feel like you guys can do this. I believe in you.
Cool. Thank you. That was fun. I'm glad I arrived in time for this fight. I think it would have been, unless you added more people, then it would have been a bit much for the others.
Yeah, I'm glad you were here to witness this. We were joking about dying, but then we found out that it's a possibility.
It's real possibility. Yeah.
Thanks, Frank.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Very welcome. And thank you guys, as I said at the